All right, Nick and Andy, massive game coming up in the Champions League, Chelsea against Barcelona. When I mentioned that, it just evokes so many great memories, crazy games, wild stories of huge players over the years in the Champions League. Nick, and we both said one moment that really stuck out in our mind. But what is your thoughts on this rivalry? And obviously, you're set to renew it here with Chelsea back in the Champions League, and I think it's just a really good thing. Two attacking teams who love to play football the right way.
Well, that's funny you say that because I love that. I loved the game. I loved soccer to a certain point. The days that I went to a maniac about it were Pep Guardiola's Barcelona team, and Chelsea nearly stopped Barca from reaching the Champions League final where they would eventually beat Manchester United. We almost got Chelsea-Man United again. It was 0-0 after one leg. Second game is in Chelsea. This is back in the days of away goals not so long ago. And Andres Iniesta, and you were telling me, I think you need to share the story. You were in Spain for this. Andres Iniesta, in the 3rd minute of stoppage time, with Barca down a man, gets the away goal that keeps their dreams alive. And honestly, the difference between a historic team and a historic capital H team is what happens with that goal, because they beat Man United 2-0 a month later.
Yeah, so many great moments, like Drogba going crazy after the one game. I remember Ronaldinho like toe poking a shot from outside the box at the bridge right into the bottom corner. So many historic sort of moments and goals. And yeah, I was in Barcelona when that moment when Iniesta scored, and watching down a side street, could see a little TV through a tapas bar. It was so packed, and every single place then went crazy when that goal went in, and it was a party all night long in Barcelona, because I think they knew once they beat that Chelsea side that they were going to go on and create history with that historic, brilliant team. Andy, in terms of this game, as we head into it, I think Chelsea are underdogs, it's fair to say, but not just in this one, but kind of for the Champions League this season. We saw them struggle against Bayern Munich earlier on in this competition, and I think it kind of helps them a little bit. Again, we're talking about injuries a little bit with Chelsea and how that's impacted their rhythm early in the season, but so many young players, right? I mean, they're the youngest team in the Premier League, so this is a very new experience for them and Maresca as a manager. But I feel like they play better with that little chip on their shoulder and that, we've got to prove ourselves in this competition. So brings out the best in them, like it did in the Club World Cup last summer.
Yeah, it's crazy that a team that spent as much money as they have to build two squads really is considered an underdog. But you're right, they are incredibly young, and that probably, maybe a couple years down the road, we look back at the way that this team has been constructed and say, okay, that was actually a pretty smart way to do it. You took a lot of shots on a lot of different players. They were all at ages where they still needed to develop and turn into the final product. And if X number get over that line, then you reach a point where you've got a really, really good team. And it does look like they have the makings of that so far already. And I do think it takes a little bit of the pressure off that it's such a group of young players that we don't have these incredible expectations of them right away. They're not going out signing 25, 26, 27-year-olds who are world-class already and expecting day one, hit the ground running and be the very best version of yourself. And I think that's played out in some of their results this season. They've been up and down in the league, and they've had games where they've struggled to create chances. They've had games where they've created a ton of chances. They've had games where they give up a ton of chances, and they've had games where they look really, really solid defensively. And so it's a little bit unpredictable. I worry about the firepower of Barcelona, just kind of overwhelming them a little bit in this one. That's one of those teams that once the momentum gets going for them and 1 becomes 2, becomes 3 and 4 very quickly, just in terms of the wave of pressure that Barcelona puts you on. So yeah, for all of those reasons and even more, I'm really, really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it should be a great game of football, and both teams just love to attack and score goals, and so many great young attacking players, right, Nick? I mean, we look at Esteval and how well he does every time he comes on for Chelsea. All of the other great attackers they have, but then it seems midfield's probably key in terms of protecting that defensive line, where there has been injuries and still question marks about Robert Sanchez in goal. And Caicedo has been sensational, and Enzo Fernandez obviously has been struggling through a knee issue, but he's been brilliant alongside him as well. So it seems like that's where Chelsea are going to have to shut things down here to stop Barca getting into that rhythm and really piling on in attack. So I'm looking forward to that midfield area.
Yeah, and I think it's worth looking forward to because Maresca is going to play that way, I think. But there's another way to go about it. And I just wonder if you wouldn't, being at home, almost try to outgun Barca. And the reason I say that is because they've allowed goals in La Liga this year. They have. And there have been so many games and they do come back to win because they are that good. But so many times you've tuned in and you've been like, it's 1-1 midway through the first. Oh, it's 2-2. Like there's something there with them that you can count on them scoring. Like they're not going to be blank. So do you try and outscore them? Yeah. And I just wonder if Maresca has that in them at home. Having a team travel at midweek, might that be? I don't think he will, but might that be something he does?
Yeah, I mean, Barcelona are very exciting. I watched the last game against Club Brugge. What was it, 3-3, and it could have been 7-7. It was basically all-out attack and just one way of playing. Great, but very unbalanced. You're right, and the defensive line is so high. And I think Chelsea, we all talk about the possession football, and the rest of it, but they are extremely good and have some very quick players on the counterattacks. If it's Pedro Neto, obviously Esteval, we talked about him, but Garnacho and others. It's potentially going to be a really exciting game in terms of just both teams trying to play on the counter. And Andy, when you look at Barca, obviously Rashford, Lamine Yamal has been excellent. Lewandowski's still doing it. And then, Rafinha hasn't even been around due to injury. So it's quite the stable of attacking players they have. And it probably is just going to be go toe-to-toe and see who wins. And it could be a 4-3 win or a 3-3 draw.
Yeah, to your point there, Nick, before the break, they beat Celta Vigo 4-2. And so no normal games. And I respect it. This is what we want. And we do want, especially in this new Champions League format where you're going to play 8 different teams and it's going to the chips are going to fall where they fall and most of the big teams are going to get through. I do think this is an opportunity for some teams to play riskier is the right way to phrase it, but to take some more chances and to throw caution to the wind just a little bit more, and in the name of squad development as well. Like this Chelsea team needs games like this, and I think it's going to be big for what the development of that group is going forward down the road.
Yeah. Nick, are Barca one of the favourites to win it? Because I think those defensive issues just kind of mean that maybe they're just outside that sort of Bayern Munich, PSG, Arsenal, Real Madrid group. But, I mean, they got close last season, and against Inter Milan, that was one of the best semi-finals of all time. So they've I would love to see them go all the way and be in this tournament as long as possible, because that means there's going to be great goals and great games. But I guess, is that sort of a warranted concern that most people have about them going all the way and winning this tournament?
I think it'll be matchup based, because I would favor them against most teams in the world. I think they are a favorite. Yeah. The attacking depth. I mean, you've got Ferran Torres coming off the bench. Fermin Lopez has been good. The midfield is deep as well. So right, there are good questions about how their back line will hold up, and they've certainly had their challenges in health between the sticks as well. But they'll be in trouble if they get drawn against, your Hollands. If you get drawn, Erling Haaland, not the country Holland, just to be sure. If they get drawn, Real Madrid is a problem for them. But give me any other team, and it just seems to me that outside of Yamal, this Barca team just lurks in terms of they might not have any of the top 20 players in the world, but do they have players 21 through 33? Like, it's just they're kind of quietly incredible.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this one. I'm going for a 3-2 win to Barcelona in my score predictions. Andy, do you concur with that?
I did, but since you took it, I'll go 3-2 Chelsea.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, could go either way, right, Nick?
Sure. And you said 3-2, Joe?
Yes.
I'll go 3-1 Barca. I'll go for a Battle Stations Chelsea fallout.
All right. So we guarantee goals. So obviously it's going to be a very dour 0-0 game. But trust me, that's not going to happen. So head over to Pro Soccer Talk at NBCSports.com for all the information, how to watch, live analysis, reaction. We'll have you covered for what is a classic game in the Champions League. Always has been over the years. We're pretty sure this one is going to be too.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.